everyone, welcome back to my channel Culinary Vlogs by Z. My name is Zakia. The last 10 days of Ramadan are already upon us, and I wanted to share with you one of my favorites which work as a perfect meal option for either lunch or supper. That is the cottage pie. You can call it shepherd's pie or cottage pie. It is of English origin and is a meat pie made with ground beef or lamb, and it is covered with a layer of mashed potato. The dish has many variations, and I'm going to show you my way of making this, which is more spicy, quicker, and easier to make. So let's get started. To start, I've got about 6 medium potatoes that I've peeled and diced, and I'm going to leave this to boil until the potatoes soften completely, and I haven't added anything into that pot besides the potatoes. In another pot, I'm just going to add in some olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. To this, I've added in 1 chopped onion, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and a few cinnamon sticks. Place this on high heat and wait for the onions to brown. Once the onions have slightly browned and turn to a nice golden color, add in 500 grams of mince. Here I've got lamb mince. To this, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic that's crushed or ground, or whatever you call it in your part of the world. And I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of salt, but if you want, you can use more according to your preference. And then just give this a quick toss and wait about 10 minutes for this to cook. And you will notice that there is water that is also appearing at the bottom of the pot, and that's absolutely fine. So remember that the mince must be turned a few times so that it doesn't get too lumpy, and still has a bit more water. So it's been 10 minutes and I'm just going to add in my spices. I've got 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, and if you want it more spicy, you can always add in more. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. Now if you notice that the teaspoon is a bit heaped, so don't feel shy. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder and 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Also add in 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. That's 1 and that's 2. Give this a quick toss and wait for the water to dry out. So it's been about 15 minutes and I'm just going to check the pot, and you'll notice that all the water has dried out. There's no water. There will be a little bit of oil, but that's fine because we're not going to use all of the oil. So this is the casserole that I'm going to be using. It is an oval shaped casserole dish that is about 30 centimeters in length. We are going to take the mince and layer this at the bottom. Make sure you're straining out most of the oil, otherwise you're going to have a very soggy shepherd's pie. And also don't forget to take out the cinnamon sticks. You can flatten this so that it's nice and even. Next, I'm going to take a can of spaghetti in tomato sauce, like this one, and strain out all the tomato sauce in it. To do this, all you're going to do is open the can and drop in everything into a sift. And then leave it for a while until all the tomato sauce is actually out. Now, using the spaghetti with a little bit of the tomato sauce, I'm just going to put that as my second layer. And then take a fork and then just spread everything around the casserole. Once the potatoes have softened, we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. And I'm adding in half a teaspoon of fine salt, but if you want, you can add in more. And lastly, about 1/8 of a cup of milk. And I'm using full cream fresh milk. Then using a potato masher, just mash everything up until the potatoes are nice and soft. So it actually ends up looking like potato mash, basically. So this is how soft and mushy your potato mash needs to be. Soft enough to not drip over, and stiff enough to be placed onto your casserole. Then get our casserole out again and place the potato mash layer over the casserole. So you can place them anywhere for now, and then we're going to use a fork and then just flatten everything. Now use a fork and then just flatten everything down. Make sure it's nice and level on all sides. Okay, and this is our potato mash layer that's also done. Then take some grated cheese and sprinkle this over. And I'm using Gouda cheese. Make sure that you've got all the corners filled with cheese. The more cheese, the better it tastes. I'm a lover of cheese. I'm not sure about you. If you don't prefer the cheese, then rather leave it out. Or don't put too much. Then garnish with a few sprigs of parsley. This is just to give it some color, and it actually smells and looks amazing. Now this is going to go in a preheated oven, 150 degrees Celsius, until the cheese melts. So I left this in the oven for 10 minutes at 150 degrees Celsius, and this is what it looks like, ready to be served. I'm going to have to wait until iftar to taste this, but as you know, there is absolutely no compromise on any of my recipes with regard to flavor or taste. And provided you follow the vlogs as is, you will obviously enjoy these as well. Oh, and before I go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog.